How you doing today, YouTube? I'm gonna do a little appreciation ride with my new bike. For those of you who don't know, I ordered and received a 2024 zx10r. She is black. It's kind of interesting. When I got this thing and I ordered it, you know, I was back when I was getting my zh2, I went up, I was wanting a zx10r, zx14, and they didn't have a 14, but they had a Hayabusa, and I've never sat on a sport bike before, or crotch rocket, whatever you want to call it. And so I got on the Hayabusa. And I didn't know much about them. I've since watched a lot of videos, talked to people, know people that's got them, watched videos on how to sit on them, how you're supposed to keep your arms loose and not lean on everything. And all right, let me put my visor down. So what happened was I sat on that thing, and the first thing I felt was my busted up shoulders hurting. I said, man, there's no way I can ride a crotch rocket. So that's when I started looking for the zx10s, the MT10. I didn't even know about the zh2 at the time. So get a little speed going here, get away from those cars behind me. I decided to get an upright, a naked. The first one I was looking at was the zx10r. Then I found a zx1000 on Cycle Trader, and it was a pretty good deal. So I didn't. I was looking at that one, and that fell through. So I went up to the Kawasaki dealer, and first time I went in there, you know, he said, well, I got the zh2. Well, I knew nothing about zh2. I know what an h2 was. I didn't know what a zh2 was. So when I got to researching that, I found out, you know, it's a hyper naked supercharged bike. So I said, okay. And then I went online with it one night just looking at it, and they had reduced it by $1,000. So I put in a thing for it. Guy calls me. I go up there and look at it. I really love the bike. The weird thing about that bike is there's not many of them. And you don't see a lot on YouTube about it. There's a few. The really big horsepower dudes, they have, you know, they've done the horsepower gains on it. And a lot of people don't realize that that thing's probably only 5 or 6% below the H2. It's designed to make more torque at a lower RPM. It's got different cams in it and stuff. But the stage 1, which, let's see, Brock's, Chris Moore, Proven Power Cycles, Extreme Creations, they all did what's known as a stage 1. And the big thing was they didn't have a flash for this thing. Well, for the zh2. But every one of them made in the mid 220s. So that bike puts out a lot of power. There's a group of guys, I think they're in England. They do drag races. And the zh2 came in second. They did 2 rounds of it. They did all the naked bikes. And the zh2, and everything's stock, 100% stock. The zh2 came in second at the very end to the Ducati Street Fighter. I think it's the Street Fighter, yeah. This bike, the zh2, is advertised at 197 horsepower stock. Takes a little bit to find that, but that's what I ended up finding. And they got another number they published, I think, of 203 when it's moving because of ram air. I don't know if that's a real number or not. But anyway, so the potential of the ZX2 is very, very good. Extreme Creations, and they make the parts to do this. They took one and pushed it to 302 horsepower. Now, that's pretty good when you consider they didn't change the cams or anything. They kept the intake or the throttle bodies, which are smaller for torque. They did go to H2 injectors. They went to a bigger fuel pump, and they put an aftermarket computer controller on it so they could program it, because there were still issues with programming it back then. Brock's, when he did it, I think he got like right at 200, 197 something anyway, to the wheel with just the pipe and the filter. And then when he got the tune, he was in the 220s. Chris Moore has done several in the 220s, and that's what's done to my bike. It's got the Van Diemen pipe, it's got the 08 filter in it, and it's been tuned, de-restricted, and time in advance, and the fuel tune. So it's a fast bike. But anyway, enough talking about that. This was supposed to be just a calm ride to show off this new bike. I haven't had a chance to. I've made a couple of videos, but each time I've been on the phone with my buddy, the one that you see that in the last video was driving up his driveway and was plowing his garden, which I appreciate all y'all's comments. I like y'all's encouragement, but hey, he saved it. Yeah, he did. I'll be honest with you, I was surprised. I was very impressed that he went off like that and kept it up. I mean, when I saw him initially, I'm like, uh-oh. Because, you know, you always talk about, gee, I hope we don't wreck. You know, don't go down, be careful. And I was thinking to myself, oh my God, here's the drop that we thought we might get. So, I guess I'm just going to have to blur out my passcode that I just showed y'all. I want to see what the picture looks like on here. I want to show y'all the bike. It's still running. I love riding it, but okay, back to the Busa thing. Okay, let's see here. Okay, there's my camera. Okay, back to the Busa thing. I thought my shoulders were going to be my problem. I've got, you know, torn shoulders, and there she is. Yep, I got to blur my license plate. That's her, black on black, with a little bit more black added in for good measure. Weird thing was, they had a KRT edition, they had a double R edition, and they had an anniversary edition. They did not have a black one, so I had to order it. Came in like 2 weeks. It had to be somewhere in the United States. I don't think it came from Japan on a boat or anything. But I love the look of it. I really do. I love the look of that bike. It just pops. But anyway, back to the story I was telling. I get on this bike the other day with my buddies, and I'm out riding it, right? No big deal. It's real easy to ride. It's probably easier to ride than the ZH2 as far as turning. It's quicker, more responsive. I mean, it's a race bike, right? So I'm riding down the road, and I notice I'm probably quarter mile, half mile from my house where I come out of the road, and my neck's killing me from holding my head up. I brought that up to some of my buddies online. Crash Test Goat told me that I'd get used to it if I rode it. So I've been riding it every day. And it is getting better. I don't know how much better to get. But now one of the things I am looking into, and I want y'all, if y'all know anything about this, comment. I want to get some adjustable clip-ons. The ones that actually have the pipe in them, and you can raise them up and down, you can slide them in and out, you can move them back and forth. I'm not going to go up much, but if you look, these are solid clip-ons on the stock bike. And let's see if I can get close enough so you can see them. And they're one piece. They look like they're CNC cut, I'm sure. They're one piece of aluminum. And I'm pretty sure they got the 7-degree downslope. If they were just 0 degrees, it would be better. Things I did in my younger days, all that abuse is coming back to haunt me. So, yeah, my neck bothers me. So, but it's getting better. I mean, it's just a fatigue thing. That's her. That's her right there. This was just an introductory video to show her off a little bit. But it just feels so cool riding a sport bike, especially a ZX10. I haven't done anything to it. Like I said, my plans right now are the ergonomic issue. So I was going to go ahead and, you know, look into the adjustable clip-ons. And I've had it in rain mode. I don't know if you can see that on the dash, but I didn't want to have to deal with the power issues trying to get used to something new. So, wow, nothing coming. I like the clutch too. The zh2 has a slipper clutch. I think this one has a standard clutch. I've ordered some tank grips for it. They should be coming in pretty soon. They have to be trying to stabilize the tank. The gears are a lot longer on this one than the zh2 also. I mean, you don't feel like you need to shift gears so much, which I'm sure is actually true. I have, you know, the normal plans for it. Eventually a pipe, the air filter. I already have the software, tuning software. I just have to get the key to it. You have to buy a key to each one. Got all the connectors. So I'll be tuning this one up, getting the restrictions gone. I'm not going to do anything other than maybe the clip-ons until I get the 600 service on it, and then I'll start modifying it. If anything happens to it, I don't want Kawasaki going, "You've been messing with it." Go ahead and turn my blinker on so this guy behind me will slow down. Here comes go-kart dude. I don't guess he saw that truck. Some people wave, some people don't. I don't give a shit. I wave because I'm a nice guy. Just ask me. I'll be glad to tell you how nice I am. Alright, we're doing a neutral race. I love riding it. It's a lot of fun. It's very responsive. And I'm sure some of that has to do with the position, but it's a very responsive bike. I got them to throw in frame sliders when I bought it. Hopefully this video is good and I don't have to make it a second time. But that's the new bike. Like I said, anybody has any ideas on those adjustable clip-ons? I'm wide open. I've got 3 brands. I can't think of them right now. I'll probably put the names in a text thing on this video, but I got 3 different names of clip-ons that I'm looking at. I think the cheapest one's in the $250, the other ones are $350, which I'm not worried about the price of them. I mean, motorcycle is basically just a 2-wheel boat as far as money goes. But anyway, and thank you for watching, and please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. See you on the next one.